Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, get into the TA. Alright guys, so the TA really hasn't changed too much since yesterday. So this is going to be an actual 5-minute video. Let's get into it. First thing I'm going to point out, guys. Still got that bullish divergence holding over here on SPY, which is exactly what you wanted to see. If you see that burnt, if you get that RSI below, all right, below 28.54, that is when that'll be burnt. That is when, hey, all right, maybe we don't get that big of a move back up. But what this usually tells me, not usually, what this tells me is that someone's got their foot on the tiger's neck right now. And it's only a matter of time until it leaps in, at whoever is holding the foot on the tiger's neck, all right, or lion's neck, whatever your spirit animal is, all right. That's what we'll call it. All right. Regardless, guys, all these divergences show you, okay, yeah, I got my analogy, but all they're really showing us is that momentum is about to change, or it is changing, and we just have to wait to see whenever that move is actually going to happen. All these are telling us is that we do have a big upward move on the horizon. We don't know when it's going to come. Just like over here, you had this bearish divergence going on, which actually came in right into resistance up here, right at our supply zone. Started at 458-ish, ended at 462. Guess what? All right, that was exactly where you topped. And let me actually go back in time here. Let's put what we had on the chart back then. All right, and let me just use this to describe how this is likely about to go down. All right, you have this bearish divergence going from here up into this big fat red candlestick, peeking its head right into our resistance, our supply zone up there. All right, so from that point on, you had a bearish divergence. All right, you had a lower low over here on the RSI, you had a higher high over here, even though on price, that was the exact opposite. You made the higher high, whereas you made the lower low over here. All right, that is your warning sign saying that, hey, we are getting a big move to the downside soon. We didn't know when. But guess what? You then popped your head back up into resistance. You could have taken your short position based off of this knowledge right there, or this information gave you the knowledge that we are likely going to see a big move to the downside. We didn't know when, but guess what? Odds are in your favor if you are betting to the downside up here. All right, well, now we are coming. I understand you've undercut this, but let's just literally come over here. Let's retrace the whole move. All right, right there, all the way up to the top, where is my thing? Yeah, come on, there we go. I took off the top line there, but you guys can see right there. This is your golden pocket right here. All right, this golden pocket goes from 398 all the way up into 411. That is where you're putting in your bottom. You don't know where, okay? You don't know where in this golden pocket that buyers are going to end up stepping in and producing that large rally that we are saying right here the divergence is warning you of. We don't know when, but we do know it's going to, with all likelihood, if the bulls are going to step up at all during this move down, it's going to be right here. My guess is, hey, if you come down here to 403.74, that is going to be your support. If you do so, that is where I think a solid reaction would come up off of. Or you got to start basing. We are basing. You have to break above the base, all right, which that is going to be all the way up here at 415.94. You can pay attention to this on the hourly time frame, and I'm actually going to add a line right here, and I'm going to point out you could see it on the 15-minute time frame, not the hourly. You do have an inverse head and shoulders going on right here. This big guy over here, all right, on Friday, that was your head. Over here, this pullback is just producing the right shoulder. If you can break above, maybe you hit your head on this resistance, go something like that, and then maybe you're off to the races. I got no idea, but this is a base. That is, this formation we have right here. All base is, guys, is you produce either a higher high or a higher low. You need something telling you something's, the momentum shifting. Okay, we already have our divergences showing us that we should be looking for that move to the upside. And my guess is it's going to start within a few trading sessions, or we just started it today. All right, why do I think that? Guys, you come back to October. This looks identical to the October low. I'm just putting that one out there. And if anybody really wants to tell me that fibs are not going to be respected, well, let's just look back and let's see, where was the October low? All right, now we do have the 200 weekly MA that coincided with that October low, but what also coincided with the October 2022 low? You have the 50% retracement from this move to that move. Well, this move, all right, from that low to that high. Okay, your COVID low to your 2022 top over here. Might have, 2022 is that first week right there. All right, The fib is exactly where you bottomed out. Exactly. You can't really get much closer than that. All right. So I do think, yeah. All right, guys. If we are retracing this move from there, which we are, that's what's going on here. Buyers are going to step up in this golden pocket, and you are going to see something like this. Okay. Even if it's for a lower high, which let's just go like this. Now you're going to do that. All right, so maybe it's a lower high into this other golden pocket from the retracement from that move. We typically get these retracements. Maybe it happens on the 50% retracement, maybe not. All right, but we are very likely going to be moving into 420 to 430 in what I think is going to be the coming trading sessions. But again, it's on the daily time frame. We're not looking at this on the weekly time frame, so it's not like it's going to take weeks to play out. No, it's likely going to take trading sessions once it gets going. We need the proof that it's going to get going. What is my proof? 415.94 needs to break. That was your high over here. Yeah, you made the lower low. That is still the high that I'm paying attention to. You could also watch the high of this candlestick right here at 415.35. Also, will note you got a ghost wick going on over here. Disregard that. You couldn't have bought in that, I don't think. All right, you could see on the 1 minute time frame. Yeah, it's a ghost wick. You could not have. If you could, hey, congratulations, right? But I don't think you are. Regardless, guys, I think we are basing. You need proof of that concept of the base by breaking above it. Okay, you also have the inverse head and shoulders formation going on over there, all right? Once you get that proof, that's, I think, is going to be the signal that we are probably about to see that play out, and then we can look for the move to 430-ish, all right? Why? This is, first of all, that was your previous support that was holding. Then guess what? You broke down. Once we made that low right there, that's when we knew, hey, you're probably coming down to, I think it was 425.43 was the high of this candlestick somewhere over here. The high was 425.43 right here. You can see it up there if you are new to TradingView. But guess what? You came down there, then you broke 424. Well, if bulls were going to step in from over here, all right, they were going to hold 424. That is right here. That is the 0.786 fib. That is the bottom of your golden pocket. If it is just going to be a retracement, you're going to see that golden pocket hold. If it's going to be a complete, not a retracement. If it's just, the move's going to go, if it's, you're not going to stop here and go like that, guess what? You break the 0.786, you're coming down for the 100% retracement once you break the 0.786. All right. Sorry for my confusing words. I'm trying to say things a lot quicker than I normally do because I'm on a break right now and I do have to get going. So I am going to wrap up this video. I am just going to point out what I think is going to happen here. Not a prediction. All right. Just guess what? When you see small caps start getting going here, that is the signal that we're getting some risk on behavior in the markets. All right, this is the one index that, out of all of them, is definitely the most risky. If you see this thing start spiking, that means people are taking more risks with small caps. That is when I think we see these other indexes. Yes, this one will go nuts, all right, with the others, but that is when I think we get the risk on behavior coming into these indexes. So IWM is going to be the canary in the coal mine. You are currently at support right now. Come over the weekly time frame. You literally have the RSI down at what? 32 we hit? 32.05. You think it's going much lower? I don't. I think this is where you get your massive bounces. And I say massive because that's a $20 move. That's making you a lot of money if you catch that with 30 days out. All right, which I'm just going to tell you guys right now, timing is the hard part. That is the hard part. We know the move up is about to happen. We just don't know when. That is why we discuss what we discussed in this video. You are watching the hourly time frame, or pay attention to this head and shoulders, or inverse head and shoulders over here on the 15-minute time frame. Either way, those are the structures, the relevant structures that I see on the smaller time frames. Let's flash up the VIX real quick. Guess what? VIX is likely to crush here. Nothing has changed. We discussed this in the weekly update. If you do end up getting a spike, it's just going to ram its head here into our trend line. We're watching it here. We're watching for rejection here. We watch for rejection here. You come up here, maybe you do get a, mass panic over there in the indices. But guess what? It's just going to literally put another point of divergence in over here. You already have a triple bearish divergence. You're going to have a quadruple. And then what's going to happen? You're going to get rejection here, and then you see a VIX crush anyway, all right? It's a bottoming process. It's not going to happen all at once. I think, I think this video made it pretty clear there. We have to wait for certain things to happen before, we know it's coming. We don't know when it's coming, all right? That is why we're watching on the smaller time frames for all these things. That's why we're going to watch IWM to see whenever it starts spiking, that is when we get that risk on behavior. That likely carries into everything else. Now, one setup I will discuss right now, Amazon. All right, I think this is pretty sexy looking. All right, very clean price action going on. All right, Amazon ended up gapping up. It was the only of the tech earnings, all right, out of Google, Meta, and what was the other one? Microsoft. To do pretty good over here. You did have a pretty fat nasty 7% gap up over there. Guess what? You rammed your head into resistance today. You are up at your supply zone again. You still have not filled this gap over here, so that is something that we could add to the chart. I'm not gonna though. We have this as our zone here. That'll, that covers it. But guess what? All right. Expect rejection into the supply zone by the pullback. That is the trade plan for anyone who would like to set an alert right down here. You're going to set an alert right around 124, 125-ish. That is going to be aligning with your golden pocket right here at 124. That is the dip you buy. Why? All right. Why do you buy that dip? Because now we have strength. All right. Which I'm going to flash the weekly chart as well. I think it's a very nice chart. All right. Don't mind my fibs here. Let's just remove those real quick. All right. And guess what, guys? You had a hammer candlestick validated by heavy volume, the largest volume you've had since over here. All right. And I do see you sold out flat over there. I'm just going to point that one out. All right. You had decreasing volume over here. And guess what? Volume picked up when you started rallying over here. All right. There was that. Regardless, we're just following what's on the chart here. You have a hammer candlestick. You have, and by the way, it's buying a low. All right. So guess what? This was making a major low over here. Hammer candlestick on the weekly time frame, confirmed by volume, and then you have the fall through the week after. All right. We do want to close this week above where you closed over here. All right, which was at 127.74. So you do want to see confirmation on that regarding what we're talking about right now. But then guess what? You come over the daily time frame. You held the 200 DMA. You literally had this big fat nasty gap up. Again, you have a confirmed move right here. I understand it's on a low volume, but you have a confirmed move off of this gap up over here into resistance. This is the point when I'm going to say risk to reward here. All right. You don't want to be going long right here. You want to buy the pullback and then you ride it back into resistance. There's a pretty nice move right there. That is $9 in between here and here. That is the trade plan that I have just pitched you guys. And guess what? After that, you're probably going to spike even higher than that, because that pullback, what would that be doing? All right, guys, this is how technicals work. They literally all align with each other. You don't have to use the things we do here on this channel, but there's a reason I use the things here on this channel, because that's what I found that go together. And I can make these kind of trade plans happen pretty consistently with them. All right. And right here, buying the right shoulder. And then boom, that's your neckline. You break above there. You're probably coming all the way back up here at 144. All right. There's your trade plan. With that being said, 12-minute video, not a 5-minute video, but I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.